So today I'm in the truck and I'm going to be switching out this box. Thing I don't like about it is I have to run all the wires all the way to this switch box. Now, when I first set it up, that seemed fine that I would do that, but that means every time I want to add a light, I have to drag it through the firewall, pull this off, connect to it, and honestly, I've only got 2 on it right now and it's already having problems sticking. I've had to put new sticky tape there, it still falls off. I'm just kind of tired of it. I don't want to put the metal mount that it has. I don't want to drill the holes and everything. And it's kind of bulky. So I'm going to actually use this probably on the semi. I'm not going to throw it away or anything, but I'm going to use it on something else. Today I'm going to be putting in a totally different control panel that goes on the other side. It's going to have 8 switches that are available. I only have to run it once, and then everything else is under the hood. Let me show you what I'm going to put in. All right, so this is why I decided to go with this kit. First thing, I like this little tiny control panel here that's going to be in your truck. This is all you're really going to see in your truck. It's got these buttons here that don't have anything on them. They're clear, and that's a light that's behind them. So you use these stickers here with those buttons. So you pick what you want to be on there, and there is a massive amount of stickers here that cover pretty much everything you can think of. That will go on here when you choose what these buttons are going to do. Then it's got a huge cable here that will stretch all the way across a vehicle. Like from my truck, it'd go from one side all the way to the other and still have some left over. So you can put the control panel pretty much anywhere you want under your hood. And speaking of control panel, you have this right here. It does have this cover on it. Nicely laid out, got fuses for everything. It's different amperages for all of the different buttons and connections you have there. It comes with zip ties. It comes with an 80 amp breaker. It comes with all of the wires you need to connect it, even the accessory wires, because you can hook this to your accessory, run this off of the start and stop of your vehicle. All of that's here in the manual, of course, that it comes with. It's got different mounting brackets. It even comes with a screwdriver. Comes with all the wiring you need. Those are the lug wires that go into this breaker and into the control panel. It just has everything, and that's why I got this kit, because I don't have to come in here and just build a bunch of relays and run a bunch of wiring and do all that. This comes with everything you need. And once you have this control panel mounted under the hood of your truck, somewhere in there, engine bay, something like that, then to add other lighting or anything else that you want to do to your truck, you just come in here and you put these in here, and then you just pick your sticker for your control panel, because they're already all wired in using this. So you don't have to reinstall anything and run more things. It's already all there. You just basically go into this control panel, add the new wires in, and now you have new functionality that you just added. So that is awesome, and that is the reason I wanted to go with this kit. That's enough with that. Let's get inside the truck and get this thing installed. So this was my thought with this control panel. I'm going to probably mount it right here on this contour line where the dash panels go together, and it's going to give me more than enough room to, not accidentally hit the parking brake or something like that. And it's going to give me just a good simple look here. Now they do have a kit that you can get for these Chevy trucks that have this all built in, but I think it only had 4 or 5 switches here, and I already have plans for more than that. I'm pretty much going to use this entire 8 switch panel with all the things that I plan on installing with this. Anyways, I'm going to get this mounted here. I think it's going to look really nice just up here. I'm going to have to drill just one hole. I am going to drill a hole. I'm not going to run this down, awkwardly or anything. I'm going to drill a hole that's just big enough to get this through, push it through that so it's hidden, and then I'm never going to have to play with any of this again. All of it, again, is going to go through the firewall to a control panel under the hood in the main engine bay. That's going to connect to an accessory fuse, and then it's going to have all the plugs and everything that I need right there to install anything I want to install. Let's get to it. I got to get me a drill bit this size, get this thing drilled and put in, and then I got to run this through the firewall. All right, so this is the hole that I drilled in. This was a 3/8 inch bit, and that's the hole that I drilled in. It's going to be pretty tight to get that little connector through this hole, but it'll go. I'm going to put that in now. There we go. So like I said, it was very tight getting that connector through there, but it went through. You just got to push it in. You may want to get some like needle nose pliers to help you push that in, but try not to damage the wiring, of course. Got that in there, and of course, this is pretty hollow, so I can just feed this in, and this is going to come down you know, below this here. You want to make sure that you're weaving it through the wires. There are a bunch of circuits and wires back here. You want to make sure you're weaving it in properly. But now I'm basically just going to run it to the firewall, pull it through, and get this here ready to mount. Once it's on, you shouldn't even be able to see the wire. You've got fuses on this side of your truck, but you also have fuses under the hood. Well, for my truck at least, and probably any model like this. There's all kinds of fuses underneath there that you can tap into, even some blanks that look like they're going to be available for accessory. So I'm going to want to put everything over here. Now my truck has two batteries. There's one battery on the driver's side, and then there's another battery on the passenger side. Both of those work together because this is a diesel engine. I'm not sure if your setup's going to be the same way, but that's why I ran this one off of the battery on the passenger side, and I had no problems with that. But this one I'm going to run off the main battery on the driver's side, and I'm going to run the auxiliary fuse that goes to the control panel off of the fuse boxes that are on this side of the truck. So to do that, I am going to run the wires. As you can see here, I just pulled the wire out and got it out of my way, just kind of wrapped it out of my way so it's not down here getting tangled up. But I am going to run it straight through the driver's side boot. It is not easy to get to. You have to literally climb into the engine bay of your truck. I'm going to show you where you have to cut that little section of the boot, and then you have to climb under your dash and pull some foam away that you probably don't think is where the boot is, but you pull that foam away and then the boot is back behind there. It's not really hard, but it was a pain when I was trying to do it the first time, so I didn't do it, and I just went that way. But this one's going in this side. If you look on my truck, again, this is the 2500 with the diesel. If you look back behind the air intake back onto the firewall, you're going to see this little piece of aluminum wire here, right? So this aluminum wire is just some fencing wire that I used, and it's nice and rigid enough so I can push it through there, but it's not, you know, too flimsy where it'll fall apart. So I'm using something like this. A coat hanger would probably do too. And if you look really far in there, you should be able to see where that wire is running into that little rubber boot back there. There's a wiring harness coming through, and what it is it's right on the left and then a little bit up of your steering column. So your steering column is running through the firewall, and then to the upper left of that is that rubber boot, and on the end of that rubber boot there's a little nipple. I think you can see it. So there is a little rubber nipple sticking off the side of there, and that wire is running through that. I'm going to use this as a snake to pull that wire through, but you got to clip that. So I got some side cutters, and I just literally just clipped a line in it. Don't clip the whole thing off. You don't want water getting in there somehow, but I just clipped it so it'd have a slice in it, and then I ran a folded section of this aluminum wire in there so I can wrap that around the actual end of that wire, and I'm going to pull it back through. So that is the snake that I made to get into that little nipple. Now let me show you what we have on the inside. All right, so it's kind of dark down here. I don't have a light on this camera, but if you see, here's the aluminum wire that I pulled through, and here is your gas pedal. So, you know, in my truck, it's an electric gas pedal, so there's just electric wiring harness connection here. Then there's this foam. There's just this sheet of kind of thick foam, probably an inch or two thick, and it covers this whole part of underneath your dash, covering where the steering column goes through. You'll see the steering column, you know, right over here. This is just an air conditioner vent, but there's this big piece of foam, and if you pull that away, it's hard to see. So that's why it's easier if you run a piece of wire through like this for the snake, because I was able to put my hand back there and feel the wire, feel the head of it that I made, and then just yank it through. And it, again, it just goes back behind this foam that's going to keep, you know, water, weather, whatever coming through. So now I'm going to hook the wire onto this, make a nice little, you know, tight loop on it, and then I'm going to pull it through that boot that's over there to get it out the firewall. It's best if you lay on your back and push your driver's seat all the way back, and you have usually enough room to get down here and lay on your back and see that. All right, and there it is mounted up. Showed you the hole earlier, got it all pushed in. Got this, I put some Velcro on it, a piece of Velcro like this size. This said it was heavy duty Velcro, could hold up to 10 pounds. So this should be good enough to hold it. and it does seem to be nice and firm. I've got the wire ran underneath there, and I was able to just kind of snake the wire through so that way I didn't have to use any zip ties or anything. I gave it a little bit of slack. I don't want nothing real tight up underneath there, but it went through fine. It actually was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be once you got that snake pushed through. I wrapped it around the cord, pulled it through. Now you don't want to wrap it around the edge of the cord at the very end where it's got that big connector. What I did is I wrapped it up about 12 inches up and just wrapped it on around the cord so that it would be smaller to get it through as I was pulling it through. And then once I got the metal end and the wire and everything pulled through and it was just the wire, then I was able to just pop that connector out with no problem and then pull the rest through. So if you do it that way, it didn't seem to snag up or anything inside that that big housing or that gasket that you pulled it through. So now to the engine bay. This is what I did under the hood. I have the control panel now here mounted. It's actually mounted to the lid of my fuse box. So this is another fuse box. This is a box on top of the battery. This I call the main battery, and I call the secondary battery that one over there with a little red little cover piece on it. But there's a lot of fuse boxes. Here's one. But this box here has quite a few fuses in it that are accessory operated. So they run when you push the button, get the truck cranked. So I was able to easily jump into this box. I did have to drill a little hole here and run in the wire, and it has a little bit of a, you know, silicone cover. I'll probably seal that up better, but I left that like that so that way I could easily just open that lid and still have access. That's why I have some of this wiring here still ran. I didn't want to make it so tight that I couldn't lift this off and get to the fuses underneath this if I have a problem, but I did want this to be here on top where I could easily just push that button and open it up. So I've got all of this set up here. I've got the accessory. This is the control panel that I have on the dash inside. Positive. I've got the positive switch for now, just down here, the breaker, pushed in between these two wiring harnesses right here. So far, that's the best thing I'm looking at. I'm gonna probably find another way to mount that, but I do have this clean out here on the hood that drops down into this section here. So I don't want this area getting cluttered or anything. I want this to be able to still fall into place. And then of course, you know, all the other wires. But so these are all the different fuses. I'm not sure if you can move these fuses around. I don't know if all of the electronics are the same. This one might be, you know, 30 amp and it might be 30 amp electronics underneath it. So I'm not going to say you can switch those around, but you've got a variety, you know, 10, 15, 20, and 30. So for now, I've got my rock lights on this 10 amp fuse here, and I've got my LED light bar on the front running off of the 30 amp. Now, I'm really only about 20 amps on this LED light bar, but I don't want to overrun the fuse, so I'll put it on the 30. It probably could run fine on the 20, and we'll see if I come up with something that's heavier and needs it, I'll do it. But again, I've got this whole other side over here too. I do plan on using all 8 switches. But that was it. That's pretty much what, you know, I've got here. Once I got it through the firewall and I was able to run the wiring and everything through here, it actually went together really easy. And that's the whole reason I wanted to go with this kit. This thing is now set up the way I want it. And anytime I want to add something new, I just wire it into here and the button in there works. So I have tested it. Here's the little LED showing that it's got power. And then when you press the button, there's little LEDs. If you look in here, there's little LED lights in between there. Every one of those, when you press the button, the LED light will light up, letting you know that it's being provided power, and that way you can go. Now, it is a positive and negative screw for each one of these. So like here, I have positive and negative. But if you had just a positive and you wanted to ground the negative to, say, your truck, you know, the body of your vehicle, you can do that too. I'd actually tested that with the rock lights because I did have those grounded to the vehicle. And instead of grounding it here, I just grounded it directly to the truck. But I came back later and decided I didn't want to ground it to the truck. I'm just going to run the wires to it like I had this one. So it's all according to how you want to do it. If you've got something that's a really long run and you don't want to waste the wire coming back to here, you can just ground it to your vehicle. And that's it. I mean, it works perfect. Everything's been working great. The switches are doing good. You know, it mounted up well. Now all I got to do is put the stickers on it. And this is one last shot of this inside. This is how I have it mounted now. I do have the Velcro back there. There's a hole cut in the dash that lets that cable go through, but you cannot see it because it's about right here. And it goes on great. Even kind of covers up. There's a contour line here, but there's a contour line back here, and I have it just enough high enough where it easily clears the steering wheel. it easily clears this little area, and it's just enough to cover that contour to make it kind of look a little more molded and one less sharp edge. But it looks good, and these lights work. You can press the power button. This is the color I've got the LED set to, and they stay to this. You don't have to have the power button on. If you want to turn on, like say this is the LED light, you can just press it, it automatically comes on. Press it again, it goes off. And then the accessory on your vehicle, that's what the accessory plug for, or you just press the power button. So on here you can again turn it on and off, and you can turn the lights on and off. These are the lights that I have set up, and you know, all of these will turn on and off, but I don't have anything wired to them yet. This is going to control the brightness. I like it actually all the way on the low setting, because if I'm going to use the lights, or if I'm going to even need the lights, it's going to be at night anyway, and I don't like it super bright in here. When you hit the button, you see the red LED, so it's not like you really need the lights. And then this, of course, lets you flip through different colors. Like I said, I kind of like this whitish colored. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. I tested it last night. I actually let the LED light on here run for quite a while, just to make sure that everything was looking good, nothing got hot, and seems to be working great. So very happy with it, and so far I definitely recommend it. It makes things a lot easier just having that control panel under the hood where you're going to need to hook your wires, instead of having to come back into your firewall and keep running more wires inside your cab. So plus that uses up a lot more, you know, wiring and then relays and all that other stuff. It's better to just have that one control panel and it's all done. So now I just got to figure out which one of these stickers I really want to use and how I want to call them. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff here, and again, there's 2 sheets of them, so I just want to find exactly what I want to call them. Because I mean, they even have these things like windshield lights, you've got, you know, fans, fog lights, front lights, rear lights, side lights, hood. I mean, you've got all these different stickers here. But anyways, I hope this was helpful. Turned out to be a really good little control panel that I like. Of course, longevity, that's just going to take time, so if there's an issue with it, I'll give y'all an update in the comments. But you know, everything seems to have went in great. I really like the way this thing is laid out, and I'm pretty positive I'm going to be real happy with it. So I really like how it fit here too. You can get a 6. There's 6 LED lights here, and you can get some that don't have this piece here, so it's just got the lights, and it'll fit smaller in areas. But I really wanted to go in 8. Everything I added up was about 7 lights, maybe 8. But if I got a 6, I feel like I would be needing that extra light, so that's why I went with this one. But yeah, the 8 will fit. They've even got bigger ones than this, of course, but you'd have to mount that somewhere else. You're not going to get it right here any bigger than 8 probably. All right, well, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to make more videos when I'm doing things. I'm always doing things, tinkering with things, putting stuff on the truck, doing whatever. And I'm going to try to make videos of these, and hopefully they'll be helpful to somebody. So if you would, hit that subscribe button. That really helps me out. You know, like the video, share it with your friends. That's the best. Thank you. Y'all take care. I'll see you in the next video.